Good morning and welcome to We Are Soccer, the show that talks about pro soccer, youth soccer, and everything in between. I'm your host, Craig Hearn. All right, lots of soccer to get to today. As you know, the Euros are in full swing. I mean, just a heck of a first round. We're already into the second round with a couple games. Lots and lots of fun if you've been watching. So we've got lots of Euros on tap today. We've got the Premier League fixtures were released, so we'll talk about the first games of the upcoming season, some transfer rumors and coaching changes, and then we have an own goal that you have to see to believe. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Stick around for the show. We've got lots and lots coming up. Oh, and happy Father's Day weekend to all the dads out there. Who do I have on the show with me today, you may ask? Well, today we have our good friend Nate back joining us. Nate, welcome back to We Are Soccer, my friends.
Hello. Excited to be here, as always.
You've been watching a lot of the Euros?
I do nothing but watch the Euros. This is one of my favorite tournaments. This is actually my favorite tournament. That I was there when in Germany, my time during the Euros, so I got to experience firsthand. So I have very, very fond memories of it. I think it's honestly as competitive, if not more competitive, than the World Cup. If you look at the teams that won the World Cup, you have 12 European teams that have actually held up World Cup versus 9 from South America. So from that aspect, you got the better teams playing.
And I know you've been watching them because you do nothing but text me all day during the games.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of fun. All right. Before we really dive in here, I'd like to do a big thank you to our friends who've been with us since day one. I want to say thank you to Detroit City FC, Michigan Jaguars FC, Tim Merritt with Ross Mortgage, Superior Family Dental, and Next Level Training. Guys, thank you for the support. Very much appreciated. Friends out there, viewers, go ahead. Find them on the social channel, search for them, and give them a like and a subscription, all right? Those are good friends. You can also join the We Are Soccer Facebook page and group and find a lot of those friends there. All right, normally what we do is I do shout-outs at the beginning of the show. Today I've only got 2 shout-outs. I like to do a lot of local ones. First shout-out goes to Adam, our producer behind the scenes. Welcome back, Adam, from your honeymoon and your wedding. Congratulations, buddy. It's great to have you back. Love having you on the show. Next shout-out goes out to Simon Kjær. Now, who's that? The captain of the Danish soccer team. You'll obviously have heard, if you're a soccer fan, even a light soccer fan, of the news that happened last Saturday, pretty much 2 to 3 hours after our show. Christian Eriksen, playing in the first Euro game for Denmark there in Copenhagen, went down with a heart attack in the 43rd minute of that game. Finland versus Denmark. I was watching live. It was a pretty scary moment. At first, when I was watching, I thought maybe he got bumped or there was another head injury because it was another head injury. There'd been 2 or 3 already in that game. And then they showed the replay, and you could see that it absolutely was not a head injury. He was all by himself. He just made a 50-yard sprint and went down. That's when Simon Kjær, the Danish captain, jumped into action, got over there to Christian, rolled him on his side. He knew exactly what was happening. Called the medical team on, and then as the medical team was giving chest compressions because Christian's heart had stopped, he had the rest of the team form a circle around Christian and the medical team for privacy, and just absolutely did what a captain should do. That right there is a leader. I don't care what happens for the rest of this tournament. There's one most valuable player, one MVP that comes out of this tournament. It has to be Simon Kjær. Showed absolutely what a leader should do. Absolutely phenomenal what that man did. Helping get the medical team on, understanding what was happening. Absolutely 100% saved Christian Eriksen's life. We'll talk about that a little later as well. News has come out yesterday that Christian Eriksen did have an ICD, sort of a pacemaker placed in his heart. Whether he'll play again or not is up for debate. I know there's a couple players in the world that have these little devices in their heart. I don't know that many of them have suffered a heart attack and then come back and played with this. So that's up for debate. Hopefully Christian's able to play again. But The reason he's alive, the reason he's able to be with his family and kind of still walking around is because of Simon Kjær and the actions he took. He was the first one there. He sprinted across the field to get to his teammate on the floor. He knew what was happening. So I guess the old saying is, not all heroes wear capes, right? This proves that point. Absolutely stunning. So big shout out to Simon Kjær there. All right. Let's jump into the Euros. We'll jump in our section called World Soccer News. That's brought to you by Tim Merritt and Ross Mortgage. Tim Merritt for over 70 years. Ross Mortgage has been in the lending game. If you need a new mortgage or you need to refinance, call Tim and Ross at Ross Mortgage. Good dude. Great company to work with. Yeah. The Euros.
Yes.
The Euros. We are 8 days into the Euros, and the amount of games we've played is stunning. So what we'll talk about is some of the games we've loved, some of the games we haven't loved, players we've loved so far, moments we've loved, and then look forward to some of the upcoming games. I'll kind of start off here. Some of the games that I've really enjoyed. One was that France-Germany game. From a neutral perspective, this was a game I was really looking forward to. You've got two of the favorites paired up against each other in the group of death. France, Germany, just stunning rosters they have. They went at it, and that was a really good game. There was 2 or 3 goals that were called off for offsides for France. Final was 1-0 due to an own goal.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of England and Germany have a lot in common. Both Germany and England have only scored 1 goal in this tournament. Neither team have been scored on against an opposing team. So
from an opposing team, yep.
Yeah,
absolutely,
so, there's a chance for Germany to go forward.
There's definitely a chance. That game in particular, a lot of people I've heard have said, we're not a huge fan of France because they scored that goal, they sat back. They did what they had to do. I don't know if you understand, but France they scored a goal, right? It was an own goal coming off Mats Hummels. And then they did what they needed to do to see themselves cross the line to win the game. They went forward, they picked their chances, and they were willing to give up the possession to Germany. And I'm okay with that. I think they did very well. I'm willing to give up the possession when I've got Pogba and Kante in the middle of the field as well.
Well, especially in this group, the group of death where everything's so topsy-turvy, they still have to play Portugal. They still have to, France does, that is.
Yep.
They still have to play Hungary. And Hungary is a good team. If they were in a different group, I think they would have a better chance going out.
Yep.
You don't know when it comes to things like this. I mean, you go back to the last World Cup the USA was in when they were, matched up against Germany, Ghana, Portugal, and everyone went, USA's out. Well, they weren't. They actually went forward. So you don't know what can happen. You don't know what the way it's going to shift off. So if you're up 1-0, 2-0, and you sit back a little bit to preserve a lead so you can get 3-1 points, and that's what you need to do, sometimes that's what you have to do. Especially that first game where everyone's fighting to get that jump out and to secure themselves. Yep. So now Germany's backed into a corner where it's a must-win with Portugal. France has a little bit to play with, but going against Hungary, everyone would think that France would be, and I think they're the odds-on favorites to win. But stranger things have happened in tournaments where you never know what could happen with this Hungary team that wasn't bad against Portugal.
Right.
They held them up until they got scored on, and then it was an onslaught of goals. But up until that point, they were going toe-to-toe with a very good Portugal side.
Yep. Another game that stuck out to me that I really kind of want to mention is the Netherlands-Ukraine game. Netherlands went up 2-0 and looked like they were in control of the game. And then Ukraine came storming back, tied it up 2-2. And at that point, you're thinking, oh, my gosh, the Netherlands just threw this away. And then they come down, and Dumfries scores a beautiful goal to win the game. 3-2 for the Netherlands. It was a really well-played game. It was great to see the Ukraine come back into it, score 2 cracking goals. Great game. Another one that goes on my list. I could probably list off 7 or 8, but I've decided to pick 2 or 3 here. That's one. What was your thoughts on that game?
Right now, anything with Netherlands, Belgium, and Italy, these are the 3 most exciting teams right now to be watching.
Yep.
Italy has been a surprise. I hate to say surprise. Everyone's like, oh, but it's Italy. Yeah, but they weren't really a team that was talked about much going into the tournament. They've been a great surprise. Netherlands, Italy. Italy has scored 6 goals in 2 games. Netherlands and Belgium have scored 5 goals in the last 2 games. Everything has changed for Belgium with the fact that De Bruyne and Witsel are both playing. Yep. These guys are the motors, I think, in their midfield, just like France with Kanté and Pogba. You know, they're going to be really exciting. And, yeah, Netherlands, I mean, every time I'm watching, you know, their team go forward is exciting. Vagers is an exciting player. I see Memphis out there and just kind of tear rolls down my eye if you're a Man United fan going, what could have been, right? I mean, he's having a reemergence. He had a reemergence in France. Actually humbled himself very much, saying that he was the fault at United and would want to go back in the Premier League. And guy's class. So the Netherlands is very exciting to watch right now. Yep. I think their defense is going to bite them against a better team, though.
I agree with that. You mentioned Italy, and it's strange to say that Italy are a little bit of a dark horse. Before the tournament started, you would have thought, Italy, they didn't, you know, they qualified really well. They've gone on a string of games, but no one put them in the group of favorites to win the Euros. Italy, for me, have just been outstanding. The only team that's won both games 3-0. And by the way, Italy had never won a European tournament game by the score, but they had never scored 3 goals in a game. Now they've done it twice in the same tournament in 2 consecutive games. They are just and without a true number 9 as well, they are getting it done. I think they have to be considered one of the favorites. They are playing really well. Their first 2 games against Turkey, they won 3-0, and against Switzerland, they won 3-0. Both, I thought they were excellent. Another game that really impressed me was the Denmark-Belgium game. So Belgium went up 1-0, and as a good manager does, Roberto Martinez made changes at the half, and guess who he brought on? Only one of the best players in the world, Kevin De Bruyne, and Kevin De Bruyne sets up a goal and scores a goal for them to win, for Belgium to win 2-1. Gareth Southgate, please take note. Changes can be made at the half. You do not have to wait till the 65th minute to bring on a playmaker. Just saying. We'll get to that in a little.
And you can actually throw a creative player on there to change things up.
Crazy. So, lots of games we've loved. I mean, this has been one of the best Euros I can remember. Right now, I believe, before the start of yesterday's games, which was Friday, before the start of the Friday games, the goals per game was 2.33. So from a neutral's perspective, it's been a great tournament. Goals have been flying in the net. And I will say as well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who will send me messages disagreeing with this, but the first round of matches, the first 12 matches, I thought the refereeing in the tournament was excellent. I thought the refereeing was excellent. I thought VAR was excellent. The last 2 or 3 days, there's been some questionable decisions.
Yeah.
The one yesterday, Croatia, Czech Republic, I don't know about that. Even went to VAR, and I don't agree with that at all. So there's been some great games. The refereeing has been great. The goals are up. But there's also been some kind of sad games that you're just like, why did I waste 90 minutes of my time watching that?
England, Scotland.
What comes to your mind?
Yeah, England, Scotland. I know you're gonna probably say Spain, Sweden. I enjoyed it maybe because I kind of wagered a tie on that one, but it wasn't a boring 0-0. I thought there was a lot of close chances there. I thought it was entertaining to see Sweden kind of battle out, but I guess, yeah, from if you weren't me that went, maybe they tie and just threw it in, then you're probably watching it going, geez, are you killing me? I thought the England and Scotland, that 0-0 draw was one of the most frustrating things ever to watch. Even
Yes.
and I'm not a huge England national team fan, but I mean I think I feel for all you England national team fans out there because it was immensely frustrating.
Yeah, I will say you just hit upon my two least favorite games for the tournament. Actually, I'll throw another game in there as well. But yes, the Spain Sweden game. I heard a statistic that Spain had 917 completed passes. 917 completed passes and only 3 chances at goal. 3 clear chances at goal. That's 300 passes per chance at goal. So
I'm pretty sure Sweden's possession was in the teens. You know, it was like
it was actually 16%.
Yeah.
The least amount of possession for a team to have in a European tournament. 16%. And they could have stole it at the end, and they should have stole it. They should have absolutely gone ahead and won that game at the end, just missing on the back post there. But I'm sorry, for a tournament that has, for every game that's more than 2 goals, for that one to come out, Spain, with all the players they have, all the possession they had, all the passes they had, they did not create enough opportunities for me. Don't get me wrong, I like possession soccer. I like passing the ball. I like that. But if you're not swinging the ball into the box and you're not doing anything with possession, what are we doing here? What's the point of playing?
Well, and that appears to be the Swedish approach right now in both games, is just kind of like to hold back a little bit, frustrate you to the point that you're committing everyone forward, and then try to break you, which so far it's working for them. And imagine, if you will, if they would have brought in a one Zlatan. Now
he's injured at the moment, right?
If they could have had him,
if they could have had him, he would have turned the game. There's no way he's going to play in. I think he might have seen the writing on the wall and saying, "I don't want to play in a game where my team's going to hold 16% possession of the ball."
But at the same time, not as a starter. You know, you have impact subs unless you're England, and you could throw them on 80th minute or whatever, and just say, "Hey, be in the center. We're going to try to cross that. We're going to have Emmanuel Forsberg now. We're going to have him go out wide, and we're going to try to get you that ball on the inside and try to do something." It would have been neat to see. I think they could have. I think it would have helped them. It would have been entertaining to see.
I agree. It would have changed the game.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about my other, if you don't mind, we'll talk about my other least favorite game that you've already mentioned. Scotland, England, at home at Wembley. Oh, God. Gareth Southgate, I don't think you know your best team. I think you've gotten your tactics confused. I really don't know what you're doing. In the first game where you played against Croatia, you played Kieran Trippier at left back. He's a right-footed player. He can't use his left foot. I get why you have him in the game. Kieran Trippier is an excellent free kick taker, an excellent crosser of the ball. You have him in there for free kicks. But you also, on your bench, left the number one player in the world who gets fouled, right? Jack Grealish gets fouled by far, head and above everybody else. The number one foul player in the world. Put him on the ball. He will find a way to get fouled around the box and give you more free kick opportunities. That's why you're playing Kieran Trippier out of position, by the way, which closes the field down. And then you have Kyle Walker on the other side. In the second game against Scotland, Kyle Walker doesn't even make the bench. So I don't think you know your best team. I actually don't think you know your best 26 players. Both games you've had 2 keepers on the bench. That's a waste. You didn't have Jadon Sancho in the 18 players you can have in your matchday squad in the first game. I don't understand what's going on. You bring on Jack Grealish in the 65th minute. It's a little late. If you'd started him, the game would have opened up and would have been a little bit more open for England. Now, I also understand that John Stones hits the post, should have scores. That ball goes in the net. It becomes a different game, right? Scotland then have to open up and come out and play. But it didn't. Nothing happened. Besides that, there was no real clear opportunities. Also, you had to expect that Harry Kane was going to be playing against 5 defenders. At all times, there were 5 defenders around Harry Kane. There was a back 5 happening for Scotland. You left, and Harry Kane, in order to touch the ball, had to go out wide, or he had to come back into the midfield. I really don't think the tactics England employed were gonna. The game could still be playing now, and we're almost coming up on 24 hours since it's been played, and England would not have scored. So terrible waste of 90 minutes. I'm very disappointed, and yes, I'm an England fan. If you couldn't tell.
So I'm a non-England. I shouldn't say non-England fan.
You're a neutral.
I'm a neutral.
Right.
I don't follow it as much as you do. I don't follow the Premier League as much as you do. I have my one or two teams and turn in. But the league I do follow, which is what We Are Soccer pays me the big bucks for, in bottle caps, is the Bundesliga. And I can tell you, not having Jadon Sancho, not a starter, but coming in at a point when it's 0-0 to change things up, to add a spark, to bring on something new is kind of maddening to me. I get it. Bundesliga, Dortmund, everyone goes farm league, whatever. But you look at his stats, you look at what he did and how he combined with a very large target forward in Ernie Haaland, and you got to wonder, why not? And again, I'm not going to say he needs to start, but why wouldn't he come on sometime in the waning hour of the game to try to change things up somewhere?
Yep.
And by the way, he plays left, right, and also attacking mid. So you can't tell me that there isn't a spot for him, and can play a bit of forward too. So there's several spots he can move around in there.
Yep. I agree. I don't know. I just don't think Gareth Southgate knows quite what he's doing yet. And I've also heard one or two people say, it's a little bit of a struggle right now for England, yes, but struggle now and come into form into the knockout stages. I get that. So hopefully by the time we get to the knockout stages, we'll have found our best team.
A struggle. England's the odds-on favorite. They were the odds-on favorite to get out of the group, and I'm sorry, with Scotland, Croatia, and Czech Republic, that's going to be a struggle. That's your struggle versus like when you go up against France, maybe. I will say Germany. That's going to be your struggle.
There could be to counteract that a little bit. And trust me, I 100% agree with that. There could be a blessing in disguise here if England finish second in the group, because the winner of the group goes on to play. I believe it's the second place team from the group of death. Right? So the group of death consists of France, Germany, Hungary, and Portugal. No one wants to play any of those teams.
Here's an unpopular thing. What if they don't finish second?
If they finish third, it might be even better. I agree. They need to get something out of their last game. I mean, obviously against the Czechs.
Yeah. And the Czechs are sitting first right now. They haven't looked too bad, and they actually they actually did what you couldn't do against Scotland, which was score.
I agree. Well, it's time will tell. England play in a couple of days. They get their last group game. We'll see if Gareth Southgate can figure it out by then. Today he's being hammered by the English press, as he should be. There's a lot of fans who are turning on him. He's got a couple days to turn this thing around and get everybody back on his side, and he needs to do that. Players we've loved so far. As you heard me say earlier, Simon Kjær, I'm a huge fan of his after the way he led Denmark. They came back into the second. I don't think that game against Finland should have come back and been played an hour and a half later. I think it should have been postponed for another day or two, let everybody get over it. It is what it is. That's a discussion for another day. But I do love Simon Kjær and the way he's led his team in everything there. On the field, players, Calvin Phillips has been a real revelation. I mean, he's been called the Yorkshire Pirlo. He has done a fantastic job for England in the middle of the field, really shown his class, and the world is seeing what he's worth. Any players for you, Nate, that have stuck out in a positive way?
Depay. I really like. I don't know why. I just love watching that guy run around. I think the look is great. I think he looks like a threatening goal scorer, and he's playing well. And I love watching him run around out there.
Give me a player you're disappointed in at the moment. And I know a lot of the teams haven't played their second game, but is there a player right now who you're a little worried about or a little unhappy with their level?
Yeah, I mean,
effort?
from a German side, Serge Gnabry,
Sure.
I thought he would be more impactful than he has been. Hopefully he can be against their upcoming matches.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think he was that great against France. So hopefully he can kind of regain some form there or show what I expected him to be coming into this tournament, because I thought he was going to be one of the breakout players. So for sure him as a German fan. And I'm going to say Harry Kane, really. I haven't really seen much out of him from the I know he's getting doubled, tripled, quadrupled, whatever, but I don't see much out of him right now.
I think he may even
squad,
he should have been subbed earlier yesterday on that England-Scotland game. There wasn't a lot of space for him, but take him off a little earlier, because I just didn't see what I was hoping to see from him. He's one of the top goal scorers in the world, so a little disappointing from Harry Kane. Another top goal scorer in the world I'm a little disappointed with is Lewandowski. Lewandowski just didn't perform very well, but again, the defenders and managers are building tactics around these two guys because they know how deadly they are in the box with the ball. I understand that, but these guys they deal with this every week in their club career, right? So they have to do a little bit better. So I'd like to see both of them step up. It'll be interesting to see if they come good in the next few games. Any moments for you that have stuck out so far in the tournament? Just I'll let you go ahead and give me a moment or two, and then I've got two I'd like to kind of share with the viewers.
Well, I think the one we're going to both agree on is that chip from Scotland. That was a good
Scotland,
one.
yeah.
Against Scotland.
Schick's goal for the Czech Republic. What an absolutely stunning goal that was. Just a one-timer from, I believe it was like 51 yards, right over the goalkeeper's head.
And still one of my favorite goals is Austria versus North Macedonia, that cross in, the very first goal, where the player basically hit it with the outside of his left foot and put it into the far end of the goalpost. I thought that was a thing of brilliance.
Stunning. Another one, a moment that's really stuck out to me is having fans back in the stadium.
Ooh, yeah.
It's brilliant to see fans back in the stadium. Some of the stadiums are 100%, some of them are 50%, some of them are 20%, but fans back in the stadium is what this game's all about and what it really makes, what really soccer and football is about, having fans in the stadium and that atmosphere. I watched the Argentina-Uruguay game last night. That's the Copa America that's being played down in Brazil, and there's no fans in the stadium there, and I think it robs a little bit from the game of the atmosphere, and the players didn't really get into it like they would if those rowdy fans were in the stadium. So it's really good to see fans back in the stadium. That's one of my highlights and moments of the tournament that I've really enjoyed watching.
It is a bit, I hate to say it's odd, but it's and it is different, to have them back. Most of them, there's a few that are full capacity, a few half, a few 25%. It does change things, being able to pan to the camera to see people's live reactions of things. Right. And you'd expect it, so, you expect it in most sports, but it's I say it's odd because you forget that it wasn't there, or at least I forget that it wasn't there, or still not there in many cases. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. Upcoming games this weekend: Hungary, France, Portugal, Germany, and Spain versus Poland. That Portugal-Germany game, that's going to be a good one, right? That is going to be a phenomenal game. Give me a quick prediction. What's the score on that one?
Well, only the Germans can defeat the Germans. So unless we score on ourselves.
And France, who beat them 1-0.
They didn't score on us. Okay?
Understood.
They didn't. Mats Hummels said no and put it in his brilliant strike. So we're going to put Mats Hummels as the forward, and that's what the German team is going to do. No, I'm hoping Germany's going to win.
Yeah.
I thought Portugal didn't look good till the end against Hungary.
Right.
So it'll be interesting, but at the same time, the Portugal team is a loaded team. So I'm going to say 2-1 Germany as they lose 3-0 to Portugal probably, but I'm going to go 2-1 Germany.
I think 2-1 Germany is a fair prediction. I'll probably say the same. I think Portugal will find a way to score a goal. Yeah. That's a fair prediction. The other game I'm really looking forward to is Spain versus Poland. Spain tied 0-0. We talked about the amount of passes and possession they had against Sweden and weren't able to do anything with it. They need to come out and get a win today. Poland really need to come out and get a win. They go 0-2. This thing's over for them. So they need to come out and score some goals. They have to now come out and play against Spain, who's possession dominant. So that game is going to be a real barn burner, I feel.
It's going to be boring.
You think so?
It's gonna be boring. That's my prediction. It's gonna be boring. Right. I have no faith in Poland. I have never had faith in Poland. I think they always underperform in national tournaments. I know you got Lewandowski, and everyone would expect him to score goals, but unless you got the talent on Germany, which you don't, on playing for Poland, he struggles. I'm gonna say Spain dumps them 2-0. Probably something along those lines, and Poland never touches the ball, and it's going to be kind of like, not that I think a lot of Spanish missed chances like they did against Sweden, but at the end I think they'll put it away because they have to.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see. We'll both be watching that game, so hopefully you guys will watch, and hopefully it's not boring and it's very exciting, as most of these games have been.
5-0.
That'd be great.
So all Lewandowski goals.
Questions, a lot of questions still to be answered in the tournament. A lot of the teams have played now one. Definitely all the teams have played one. Most of the games in the next 2 days are going to have teams have finished their second game for the tournament. A lot of questions still to be answered. Obviously, we've talked about some of them. England, is Gareth Southgate know what he's doing? Why is Jack Grealish not started yet? Why has he only played 25 minutes? Can Spain actually put the ball in the net? There a lot of questions to be answered in the next week here. So I'm looking forward to getting some answers to those questions. Are the pre-tournament favorites still the favorites to win this? Do you still think France, Belgium, England, or Germany win this, or do you think it's someone outside of that group?
England?
They were the pre-tournament favorites. They were in their group.
Unless they get their act together, if you can't score on Scotland, I hate to keep saying this, but if you can't score against Scotland and you only put one goal in against Croatia, I don't know what prayer you think you're going to have against France and Belgium. I think I think with the emergence of De Bruyne being healthy, or at least being able to play, and Wetzel being able to play as well, that completely changes the dynamic of Belgium. And I would say, that really changes what I thought was going to be a disappointing Belgium side going in. I think it completely changes things. And so long as nothing happens to France's midfield, I think they are, in there for sure. Yeah.
All right. So I think before the tournament started, Nate, you had Germany down as winning the entire thing, and I had
still
France.
Do.
You still think Germany's going to go ahead and win?
I can't. I'm not allowed by code of living in Germany to say that Germany will not win.
All right. Sure.
Any tournament. So,
all right. Well, you're going to stick with your favorite, and I'm going to stick with mine.
My German driver's license will be pulled and revoked via Stuttgart if I utter anything different. So, Germany will win.
Gotcha.
Or we will beat ourselves like we did France, so you can't beat us. That's the Germans. That is the Deutschland Mannschaft strategy. We will beat you, or we will beat ourselves. Na boo boo. Stick your hand in the doo doo.
Love it. All right, so we'll jump into just kind of want to talk about some other soccer news at the moment. One last piece on the Euros there. I definitely want to read this piece. So excuse me while I look down here. UEFA have come out in the last 24 hours and said they could strip Wembley of hosting the final and the semis over the UK quarantine rules. UK ministers are discussing a proposal to exempt UEFA officials, VIPs, and sponsors and international broadcasters from the requirement to quarantine for 10 days. Visitors can self-release after 5 days with a negative COVID-19 test on arrival in the UK. So the UK have pretty stringent quarantine rules right now for people visiting. They must quarantine, must kind of stay away. And that's not going to work if the semis and the finals are being played at Wembley, because there's a lot of the vendors, VIPs, and all the other officials are going to fly in the day before or 2 days before, and that won't work. So UEFA is prepared to move the final. I believe Budapest has been named as one of the places to replace Wembley. Hopefully UK and UEFA can get their act together here and come together and keep it at Wembley. I think that's where it should be played. But Budapest is 100% open and all 100% fans in the stadium, so it would be nice to see the semis and the final being played in a stadium with 100% fans. We'll keep an eye on that and let you know how it goes. We'll jump into some other news here, brought to you by Superior Family Dental. Superior Family Dental is one of my favorite places to go and take my kids. I know it's a dentist's office, but man, is it fun. Plus, I'm very good friends with the staff and the doctors there. They are also the official team dentist of the Detroit Red Wings. Super friendly staff, locations in Milford and Farmington Hills. Dr. Randy and Dr. Jeff, two very good dentists and very good friends of mine. If you guys are in the Metro Detroit area and looking for a new dentist, please hit up Superior Family Dental. All right. So, Nate, before we started the show today, you were telling me that you may be in the know of who is going to become the Spurs new manager. Before you tell us who you think the new manager is going to be.
Not think, no.
I know. You know who.
I know.
Before you tell us who you know is going to be the new manager, let's kind of do a quick rundown here. It's been a couple months. They fired Jose Mourinho. They have interviewed everybody and their brother. Yep. And everybody has turned them down. Yep. There's some major issues at Spurs. Their money, you can throw as much. They were paying Jose Mourinho 17 million pounds a year, and you know they've interviewed 2 or 3 managers on his level, so they've offered that same amount. That's a lot of money for a manager, just an FYI, everybody. Why has nobody taken the job? Why has nobody taken this job? What is going on behind the scenes? Is Daniel Levy controlling the purse strings and saying you're not going to have any money to spend, even though we're going to sell Harry Kane for $100 million? Heung-min Son, is he gone? Is he handed in a transfer notice and say there's no way he's coming back? Why is every manager turning this position down? I don't know, to be honest. It just must be Daniel Levy something behind the scenes. So, Nate, you are in the know, you know who is going to become the new manager. Who is it?
Let's rewind it just half a tick here. So, first thing, the guy that I am very confident is available, so there's no issues there. You said finances were an issue, correct, with Tottenham? And quite frankly, this guy you probably could get on the cheap. He's renowned. He's probably, I think you've uttered how much you've loved his tactics on certain national teams he has coached.
Now I'm color me intrigued, because I have no idea who you're referring to. And I'm actually looking behind the scenes, and I'm looking at our producer Adam, and he's got a very furrowed brow right now. We're both scratching our heads going.
He has international experience on 2 continents for national teams. He's coached club as well in the Bundesliga. Am I striking a chord yet?
No.
He is a former, I believe, Spurs player. Had a couple stints. A one, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Oh, good Lord.
Yes, that's right, folks. You heard it here first. Hot off the scoop. A one, Jurgen Klinsmann was asked about the Spurs job, and he said, Spurs is in my heart. Would I be interested in the job? Absolutely.
I would
send it.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it if he went there.
It's happening.
I would love it if he went there.
Favorite manager, I believe.
That's a match made in heaven.
Yes.
For us who do not like Spurs or Jurgen Klinsmann.
What do you mean?
It's going to be an absolute. That's a dumpster fire of a relationship. So please, let's make that happen. That is a dumpster fire of a situation. He does not have the tactical nous. He does not.
Come again? He got out of the group of death.
No. Yeah. Okay. I am sorry.
He coached Hertha Berlin.
We could do an entire
He's
show.
from Stuttgart.
We could do an entire show on how much Jurgen Klinsmann set back the American national team.
Push them forward. I agree. Stuttgart's own Jurgen Klinsmann. You didn't think I was going to rope Stuttgart in here.
You found
But
a way.
I did. I found a way, ladies and
You found a
gentlemen.
way.
I always find a way. But that's actually noted. In all seriousness, I don't know if he'll actually get the job, but he has been on record saying he would be absolutely interested. And why not? You can't get anyone else.
Yeah, you can't get anyone else.
You can't get anyone else. And can you get him on the cheap? What else is he doing?
This is true.
So why not? Why not?
Let's put it on record right now.
Could he be worse than Jose Mourinho? Really? Could he? Could he?
Well, Mourinho technically didn't win. He didn't win anything there, so no.
There you go.
Let's put it on record right now. I do not think that Jurgen Klinsmann is a very good manager, and I don't think he is even close to the level of a Premiership manager and what it needs. You are going to say the opposite?
Do I have to on record?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I'm going to say that I thought he did. Well, and we could always get back into this one day, but I thought he wasn't as bad as you think for the national team, U.S. national team. He did a lot of great things outside of management, and actually, I think it was a good. He was the guy you needed at the time to point out the things that no one really wanted to talk about. However, that's a sidetrack for a different day. Can he coach a Premier League side? Well, my German driver's license and will not allow me to say no because he's a Stuttgart native. So I can't say no because it will be revoked. Just like I can't say Germany won't win the Euros. So here we go. Klinsmann.
Viewers, you can expect a side video coming up on this topic later this week.
You can expect so much hate mail from every Spurs fan that there is.
Spurs fans out there are not going to be happy with you if you put that into Daniel Levy's head. All right, let's move on. We could talk about that all day. I just want to get to some other news and notes that's happening around the football world here. Sergio Ramos is leaving Real Madrid. He has been the heart and soul of that club for 16 years. Real Madrid offered him a new deal, a one-year deal. He was looking for 2. Apparently, he was going to go back and accept the one-year deal. Real Madrid advised him that the offer had been pulled, and now they are parting ways. Kind of a sad situation there. Sergio Ramos rumored to end up with United or even Man City.
Their fax machine's working now?
Yes.
Nice.
There's a few places he could end up. He's 36 years old. He's slowed down. He doesn't quite have the legs he used to, but he's still a leader on the field. And I'll give you an example. John Terry, when he left Chelsea, still got the job done at Aston Villa for 2 years. So it is very good to have someone like him in your locker room as a leader. He's been through it. He's seen and done it all. Expect him to pop up at a big team soon.
You heard it here first. He's going to Aston Villa.
Right? I would love to have him, except for our current center backs right now are on par with some of the best in the world. So I don't know if he would get in there with Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa.
I mean, do any of them have a rockin' beard like him?
No,
I think not.
Definitely not.
So there you go.
Premier League fixtures have been released this past week. We'll just kind of quickly run through. The first game for all English Premier League teams is Saturday, August 14th. Some games of note there. Man United open up against Leeds. Ooh. Man City open up against Spurs. Will Spurs have a manager by then?
Klinsmann's first match.
Exactly. God, I can hope. Liverpool, Norwich. Villa take on newly promoted Watford. Everton, Southampton. Brighton, Burnley. Arsenal and Brentford. Brentford making their first appearance in the English Premier League. Good luck to them this year. It's a great story with them. Leicester and Wolves. So some great games for that first weekend of the Premiership. And if you can believe it, we are 2 months, a little less than 2 months away from the start of the English Premier League season. And we still have a whole month of Euros to go. There's no shortage of soccer here, folks. It just keeps going. Did you guys see the Ronaldo press conference where he removed the Coke bottles from in front of
legend?
Now, He has noted that Ronaldo is 36, and he does have a very strict diet and regimen that he's on to keep his body in peak performance. He removed Coke because he doesn't drink that product, and I believe he might be a sponsor with Pepsi, so he moved it from without a frame, held up a water bottle and said agua. It changed Coke's stock prices and everything. There was a fluctuation there of $4 billion because he did that. Crazy that Ronaldo can have that amount of impact on a product and a type of drink. With that being said, Ronaldo yesterday, Friday, went over the mark of 300 million Instagram followers. He is now the #1 followed athlete and person in the world on Instagram. The second closest soccer player is Messi, and I believe he has 211 million Instagram followers. To put this into context for everybody, if you were to take all 20 Premiership teams and add all of their Instagram followers together, you would get a grand total of 170 million. 170 million for all the 20 Premiership teams. Ronaldo, 300 million.
And the third is We Are Soccer.
We're coming up there. We're very close. Actually,
very
yes.
close.
If you don't follow us on Instagram, you should, because we put some pretty funny stuff up there.
You can follow me on MySpace.
No, don't do that. That's not even around anymore.
I'm sorry.
Something else we want to quickly talk about. The new 2021 USA alternate away jersey was released this past week.
Why?
I'll be honest. It's growing on me a little bit. When I first saw it, I thought it was absolutely, there we go, diabolical. When I first saw it released. And then I've seen a few images. I believe the women played in it the other night, and it doesn't look as bad, but it looks like it might give people seizures.
Yeah, I think the best comment someone said is, look, it's the camouflage for where you're hiding your car.
Yeah, it's the stickers they put on a car when they don't want you to see what the car looks like.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is, Greg Burkhalter probably incorporated the U.S. military and said, hey, I need a pattern and color scheme that will make the opponent unconscious. And this is purely what it has to be.
That is it.
Which is a brilliant tactic from him to incorporate our U.S. military to design jerseys to defeat the opponent there.
Yeah, well done to them. But
yeah.
I can't get on board with it quite yet. But
I mean,
will say
could.
It's growing on me a little bit.
Yeah, if I was at like a rave, and and I had to wear something that would stick out in the dark and with neon lights, I think people could find me in that.
Other news, Gianluigi Buffon, the former Juventus goalkeeper and Italian national team goalkeeper, is heading home. He is heading back to where his career started. He started at Parma 26 years ago, and he's heading back there. Parma have now been relegated into Serie B. Gianluigi Buffon, the famed goalkeeper, as we said, 43 years old, heading back home. It's great to see this. Parma did an awesome reveal of him coming back to the club, so very cool there. Lots of other stuff going on. There's a goal here that I think you guys have to see to believe. Adam, if we could go ahead and put up this own goal that the Haiti goalkeeper scored against Canada the other night. This is, if you guys haven't seen this, it is just, I'm not really, he takes his eye off the ball not once, but twice. Watch this. Under his foot. Oops. Oh, I go to kick it out, and he kicks it with his standing foot.
I think he was nutmegged.
He might have nutmegged himself there, maybe more than once. It is just, I mean, you got to feel for the guy. But dude, you had 2 swipes at this thing and you missed it twice. Ooh, man.
This has happened before in the MLS, and as I always tell the kids I coach who feel bad about putting an own goal in, these pros get paid a lot of money to do the same. Yep. And here you go. There. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to feel bad for the guy, but I got nothing else to say about that. All right, this is something that that really needs to be talked about a lot more. Mexican fans have now been banned from attending the next 2 World Cup qualifying games. So soccer's ruling officials have finally said enough is enough. On Thursday, FIFA informed the Mexican Soccer Federation that the homophobic shout and chant that has become popular at the El Tri matches and at La Liga and La Liga MX matches too, it will be no more. The team is going to be docked 3 points if this happens. And for nearly 20 years, Mexican fans have been shouting this homophobic slur and chant when the opposing the opposing team's goalkeeper takes a free kick. And for nearly 10 years, FIFA has requested that the Mexican Federation take steps to put a halt to it. No one has done anything about it. FIFA is stepping in and saying, you know what? You did it twice in the Nations League games. You're now going to play 2 World Cup qualifying games behind closed doors. No fans allowed. And if this continues to happen, you'll be docked points. FIFA, well done. You've stepped up again. This is the second time in the last couple of months you've stepped up and done something that deserves a pat on the back. You're making your way into better graces with us soccer fans. This is a great start. Mexican fans, please be better. All right? This is your chance to understand you're not going to be able to see your team play in person. And I think these games shouldn't be televised in Mexico either, but that's a bigger thing. Well done, FIFA, there. All right. Local pro soccer news. So, brought to you by Detroit City FC, our local team here, Detroit City FC. How have they been doing? As you can see, I'm wearing the jersey. Love Detroit City FC. I used to play for them. Absolutely love the stuff they've been doing here. They're partnering up with a lot of local companies to make our community better. Such a great organization, community-based, community-owned. Such a good organization. The men play next Saturday, which is June 26th at Keyworth Stadium against Chattanooga FC. Get online at debtcityfc.com. Get your tickets for that one. And then Saturday, July 3rd, championship game. Your chance to see Detroit City bring home some silverware. If you're in the Metro Detroit area, get your tickets now because they're going fast. This is going to be a championship game. Yet the opponent is yet to be determined. But I have no doubt Detroit City is going to take this game, and it'll be a good one. So get out there, grab the tickets now, debtcityfc.com. Have your chance at seeing Detroit City live and win some silverware. They'll probably parade around the field. Stadium is 100% open. There's beers, a beer garden, a march to the match. So much fun.
And they got the best Nate in soccer, too.
Nate Steinwasser.
That's right.
That goalie is on fire this year. And that back line of Detroit City.
Makes me proud to be a Nate.
Yeah. Undefeated Detroit City. Games are always enjoyable. The women last Saturday lost 2-1 to Corktown AFC in a highly contested match. Tonight they are at home. So June 19th at home at Keyworth Stadium. They take on Midwest United. Should be a great game. Beautiful weather slated for here in the Metro Detroit area. Get out there and watch. The women's soccer, I tell you, it's entertaining. It's skillful. You want to see some ladies work hard and who are at the top of their game. Detroit City players, that women's team is there. It is so fun to be out there. DebtCityFC.com is where you can pick up those tickets for tonight. Just moving right along here. As I tell you guys, there's so much soccer going on. The youth soccer had tryouts last week for the nation. I went out and watched some of the tryouts out there for the Michigan Jaguars. Some great players showed up, some great teams. And a lot of those teams have had tryouts, but a lot of them, they're still playing. The Michigan Jaguars have had a bunch of teams qualify for the Academy League playoffs. And if you guys don't know, that is the upper echelon of youth soccer right there. The Michigan Jaguars, they've got, I want to say there's a good 6 or 7 teams in the Academy League playoffs. And congrats to them. It is a great level of soccer. Some of the best level of soccer you can play in the country. Is really impressive. Nate, I know you were at tryouts last week for the Jaguars. It's a tough, it's stressful for coaches. It's stressful for kids. It's stressful for parents. As I said, I was out there watching. My son Aiden was trying out. The Jaguars did an absolutely phenomenal job with organizing, with getting their team set, making it easy on parents, making it easy on players. So from kind of the parents' perspective to you and the Jags as a coach and an organization. You guys did a great job. Well done.
Well, thank you. I think, like I said before, the Jags are highly organized when it comes to these things. A lot of meetings, a lot of stuff happens on the back end that people don't realize and see, with the directors meeting together, organizing things, making sure that things go smoothly and well, and that kids are put in the proper place for them to succeed.
Yep.
And when I say them to succeed, not the Jags, but the players. And
right.
it's a player first mentality. And that's why we have so many different teams. That's why we play in so many different levels. And we try to develop and move players along and get them to be the best players they can be. And that's why I love kind of working for them. Shameful plug.
That's all right, because I have a lot of friends like yourself who are coaches at the Jags, and it really is a club centered around the players and focusing on the growth of the player, not only as a soccer player, but as a human being, right? As a lot of these players, they grow up, they look towards a coach and they look toward teammates, and that is something that is the reason I have my kids involved with the Jags. I know what I'm going to get when they get there. So, love the Michigan Jaguars. This summer, the Jags are putting on a few different programs, but kids, if you want to take it to the next level in soccer, you need to step up and you need to do other things. What's happening this summer? Next level training. That's what. So, next level training is running camps this summer. Sign up now. Spots are going fast. All right. It's a week-long camp for your kids. I'm signing my kid up. Aiden will be there. His teammates are going to be there because Aaron and his staff at Next Level Training are top-notch. Aaron has trained Kellen Acosta. He has trained Jalen Howell. These are names who have made their debut and still play for the national team. I'm sorry. If national team players are going and getting trained by Aaron and his staff, is definitely good enough for my kids, and I'm sure it is for yours. Sign up today. Next Level Training, their camps, their sessions, they're absolutely phenomenal. Adam, I don't know if you've got that clip of the Next Level Training. Can we go ahead and throw that on there? I want to make sure you guys kind of see how passionate Aaron is and the level that he can run behind the scenes in one of his sessions. So as you can see, Aaron and Next Level Training, they are phenomenal. Kellen Acosta, Jalen Howell, Josh Gatt, other professional soccer players who have played for the national team have been and still go to Aaron and his staff at Next Level Training. Get your kids out there for one of the camps this summer. You will not regret it. I mean, we just did 60 minutes of straight soccer news. We could do another 60 minutes easily. So, unfortunately, we don't have the time. The Euros are coming up starting in a couple minutes. There's games all weekend. Jump onto the We Are Soccer Facebook group and page. There's going to be discussions. We'll be talking about it. We'll be showing highlights. We'll be doing other videos for you guys. But for now, I think we're going to have to kind of close up shop for the day. I want to say a big thank you to Nate for joining us again. Thank you, Nate.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Really appreciate it. Thank you to Adam, again, behind the scenes. Does a phenomenal job. Go ahead and give the socials a follow for We Are Soccer and Woodward Sports. Go ahead and search for them on any of your favorite social channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it. We're all there. Go ahead and give us a follow. Very much appreciate it. All right, until next week, I appreciate it, and cheers, guys.